Democratic Party Chair Basha has invited all Korçan citizens to join the protest on January 27 to end the government's ties to crime, high taxes and overall lack of hope felt across the country. The World Bank recommends Albania pay closer attention to the use of public funds, with the head of the cooperation at the European delegation in Albania declaring strong financial control is a condition for EU membership. Confirmed measles cases are on the rise, with 23 children and 1 adult confirmed as affected amid cries from the Public Health Institute to ensure all persons over 1 are vaccinated. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday the 22nd of January 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. Basha has accused Prime Minister Edi Rama of governing with double standards. In Korça, where he held a meeting with citizens and supporters, the Democratic Party chair said the head of the government is favouring his own customers at the expense of citizens. Zero taxes on new 5-star hotels, which will be built for the purpose of laundering dirty money. These businesses will not pay taxes for 10 years, while a family-run hotel in Korça, with only 5 rooms, will be required to pay 20% VAT. It is clear the Prime Minister is favouring his clients, accused Basha. The head of the opposition reiterated allegations that the government is connected with criminal gangs. According to Basha, Rama wants to capture the justice system in order to close investigations into the criminals that gained him power. We today have a prosecutor appointed without vetting. Why? To return Samir Tahiri's passport to him, to stop the trial of Emiliano Shulazi, and so on. Rama wants to close those cases relating to the criminals who brought him to power, declared Basha. From Korça, the Democratic leader invited citizens to join the opposition's protest on January 27th, a protest that, according to him, will end the exodus of youth and restore them hope. The Socialist Movement for Integration has come out in defence of residents opposing the construction of a fertiliser plant in the Vari village in Fier. In a press release, the SMI chair, Monica Gruemadi, called on Prime Minister Edi Rama to give up on the project to construct this incinerator, otherwise he will end up in the garbage can himself. In the city of Fier, residents are being abused barbarously by state police because they require their lands not to be poisoned. For some months, a company owned by Socialist Party militants has dubiously benefited from 3 permits to build combustion plants. This project was rejected by residents in Fier and nearby villages such as in Vari. They are right because the project was not born from the need for garbage processing. Incineration does not have a place in Albania. Our waste involvement pertains only to the cases where recycling coming from other EU countries is being processed here in Albania. If this is the purpose of Edi Rama, it is clear that it is not the will of the Albanians. Today, the battle is not just of those residents, but of all Albanians. The battle is against the mafia that has been installed in Albania. I urge Edi Rama to give up the incinerators, or he will end up in the trash bin, declared Gruemadi. She also appealed to the SMI members to join the protests of residents in Vari in order to put a stop to this project. The protests by residents opposing the construction of the plant has brought about some confrontation with police officers. They demand that work stop on the grounds that it has deadly repercussions on those living in the area. The Prosecutor General Arta Marcu has declared her support for investigations of the Serious Crimes Prosecution Office on every level, at every issue, including those against crime and corruption. Marcu conveyed her support to the head of the institution, Besim Haydarmatai, during a meeting she had with him at the General Prosecutor's Office this morning. During the meeting, Marcu demanded that the prosecution of serious crimes continue without hesitation to resolve all current investigations. The Chief Prosecutor ensured cooperation for all ongoing investigations of the Serious Crimes Office in order to bring justice to anyone who violates the law. The General Prosecutor's Office reiterated their support for each and every issue, offering whatever is needed at any time in order to advance with investigations. As part of the pact, the General Prosecution has committed to sharing all human and infrastructural resources with the Serious Crimes Office in order to ensure both teams successfully perform their duties in accordance with the law. Albania must deliver greater transparency in regards to public funds used for investment and align with the strategies depicted by the state budget. During the presentation of the study on public spending, manager of the World Bank office in Albania, Mariam Salim, stated that improving the management techniques used for public money should be a top priority for the country. Strengthening management of public finances should be a priority for Albania. Achieving the best value from public funds is also the most effective way to improve basic services for citizens, said Salim. The European Union has also made it very clear that the management of public funds is a key performance indicator for the membership assessment of potential candidates. This reform is important to accelerate the road to the European Union. Safe finance means more security for the future, said Mario Mariani, the head of the cooperative at the European Union delegation in Albania. The World Bank report provides an updated diagnosis assessing expenditure of public funds and the situation regarding management of public funds at a national level. The main areas that require more attention are monitoring of non-budget units, management of public investment, making the links between sector strategies and budget, systematic monitoring of liabilities, fulfilment of external audit findings, as well as greater accountability from the Parliament as the one who bears this responsibility. Tirana will soon have a bypass that will connect Kashar with the Tirana-Elbasan road, which is expected to significantly ease traffic in the capital. This project was presented at the Economic Commission, where it was also agreed to grant €2.1 million to conduct feasibility studies on some additional projects. The bypass of Fear has been a much talked about project recently and is expected to remain a hot topic even after its expected completion in late June. By July, we will have the bypass of Fear, said Thimio Plaku, the policy director at the Ministry of Infrastructure and Energy. The Economic Commission approved funding for further feasibility studies for 3 more road segments, which will be built in collaboration with the private sector. These segments are Vachar Rogajin, Milot Baldren and Elbasan Chukas. The head of the Economic Commission, Erjan Brace, took the opportunity to express his opinion that the change in the Thuman Rogajina section of the Vachar Rogajina road is not in the public's best interests. The opposition approved the segment, but according to them, the government needs to have concrete projects and not just ideas. The agreement was also approved by the Law Commission. The Public Health Institute reports the number of measles cases amongst children has now grown to 23, with even 1 adult case confirmed with the disease after attending Mother Teresa Hospital for treatment. As the disease spreads at an alarming pace, health authorities further emphasise the need to vaccinate all children from the age of 1 to protect them from measles, mumps and rubella. The outbreak of measles has calls from the PHI, serving more parents to be aware of the need to vaccinate, with 400 children being vaccinated at health centres in just the past week. Meanwhile, doctors are tasked with verifying nursery medical records to ensure all children are appropriately vaccinated. Doctors in nurseries are checking all medical records, announced Dr. Claudiana Shehu. In order for an admission to be accepted to a nursery, it is required by law that a medical card and vaccination certificate depicting the appropriate medical seals be submitted for the child. The unvaccinated endanger others in nurseries, kindergartens and schools, explained Dr. Shehu. Health authorities have set up working groups in each educational institution to determine if there are any unvaccinated children attending. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.